Hello and welcome everybody, this is Omar from Team Earthstream bringing you some tabletop video content of this past week League Challenge at the Nexus. We are super excited to be able to have this League Challenge since it's the first one for the Nexus. So we're going to keep on going and get those cups going as well. And also on another news, we are officially sponsored by the Nexus Esports out of Waco, Texas. So that is exciting news for our team. Today we'll be bringing you 3 rounds at fast-paced plays. And the first people that we got going on today is Jermaine against Eric. Jermaine is playing a Sylveon deck, and I believe Eric's playing his own version, running Turtonator, Dragon type, and Nagadales. And Turtonator is kind of like Cephalon. It takes 3 energies, but Explosive Jet does 50 times. Discard any number of fire energies from your Pokemon, and this attack does 50 damage for each of those discarded this way. So it's kind of like a Cephalon, but a baby form. And so it's a little weird to see it, but it plays out pretty good actually. So we see Eric setting up, getting 2 Pulpers down. Tapu Lele, let's see what he's going to get out for his Lele. Oh, it looks like a Kiawe. Okay, so I'm thinking he's looking to Kiawe first turn for 4 energies, which is going to set him up very nice if he can get next turn Nagadales. It looks on Jermaine's side, he has a side duck going on. Okay, so Eric Ultra Ball the way. Now that side duck and Sylveon is pretty good since the ability is flip a coin of heads. Your opponent can play any trainer card, supporters, items, stadiums, you name it. Any trainer card cannot be played if that attack lands on head, and it also does 10 damage. Okay, so it looks like he's prepping for next turn and grabs a Nagadado, and it looks like he plays a Kiawe. Okay, so 4 energies out of that Kiawe. And it ends his turn, but he gets to attach those 4 energies onto one Pokemon. And I believe he's going to attach it to the Turtonator. So we're going to see how Jermaine comes back from this explosive start that Eric had. Okay, all 4 going on to Turtonator. So Eric is sitting very well on his first turn. Is going to be able to do some damage if it comes to it. So on Jermaine's side, he's going to try to slow him down with the Crushing Hammer, and it does not go through. And also benches an Eevee. Let's see if we can get that Eevee evolution going on. So right now, Jermaine wants to slow him down as much as possible, so he is not able to use the abilities. So discarding energies, Plumeria, Crushing Hammers, which one was just played and did not go through. Okay, so it looks like he attached Dumbbells to the bench Eevee. And energy onto Psyduck. So I think he's gonna play the ability or the attack where he's gonna have to flip a coin, roll dice. If it's heads, Eric cannot play any items or trainers, supporters. Okay, so it does not go through. Eric passes on. Okay, so Eric does have 2 Nagadales going on. No energies on the discard, I believe. And it looks like he's just going to have to discard from the Turtonator. Okay, so 2 energies off the Turtonator. Gets him the first knockout. Jermaine's going to promote Eevee. Let's see what Jermaine can do on this one. If Eric gets energy in hand, then that could be potentially knockout. Oh, okay. So it looks like Jermaine played Nita. It's a new card that just came out. Nita states that you can only play this card if your opponent's active Pokemon is a basic Pokemon. Put an energy card from your opponent's active Pokemon on top. Energy from the opponent's active Pokemon on top of their deck. And so he was able to get one of the energies and put it back on Eric's top deck, which will slow him down a little bit. Okay, so it looks like Eric manually attached again, and is going to grab those Nagadados' ability to charge them up. And so Eric is still sitting very well. And he needs another energy to use the attack. So if he's got energy switch, all right. So he's going to Kiawe. So that's going to set him up very well. So Eric's going to key away for 2, looks like. It's a lot of things going on Eric's side of the board state. Jermaine can get an energy and another Pokemon. That would be great. And some crushing hammers as well. And I don't see anything in Jermaine's hand. Team Skullgrunt. Okay, discard the top. Okay, so he had 2 energies in his hand. And he's just passing. Alright. So Eric used Rangaru's ability to instruct to draw into that Lily and play that Lily. And there we go. Okay, so 1 energy gets it with the Devour Field on play. And first round goes to Eric. Pretty fast play. It was an explosive round for Eric on that turn. It looked like Jermaine didn't start out too well. I know that Sylveon deck that he plays is very annoying to go against and very fun for him to play against other players. But that explosive start that Eric had just put him ahead. And so now we got Jermaine Jr. against Caesar. And I believe Jermaine Jr. is playing a Persephone and Caesar was playing his version of Rayquaza. Both decks really good. Players are really good too. So I'm excited to see how this is going to turn out. Both decks are just built on speed and who can get the first knockouts. I believe Caesar's version of his Ray is just straight Ray, where he just mills with Stormy Winds and attaches energies, uses Tapu Koko to get energies onto there. It's pretty fast and pretty consistent. It's just a downfall. You gotta discard some cards. Alright, so here we go. Looks like Caesar going first. So we got a Rayquaza active and a Persephone, so both pretty good starts. Manual attach energy. So if he can get some more Rays and a Tapu Koko out, he is going to be set up very well for his next turn. And there's 2 energies already. 2 electric energies in the discard pile for the Tapu Koko, and there he gets it. Okay, so first thing you want to do with this deck, since it's straight Ray and he's going to be milling a lot, he wants to get his Koko out before he even thinks about milling. Because you don't want to mill that Koko away and then you have to put him in Lost Zone. You didn't even get to use the ability. So it looks like he is going to grab the Tapu Lele for a Lily. So it's another fresh hand for him. Great start on Caesar's side. And it's got to be fast because that Persephone deck is extremely fast as well. So if he needs to set up fast, because Jermaine can easily set up as fast as he can. Alright, so now he's got a fresh hand. If we can get some more Rays out, it's going to be wonderful. Okay, there's the second Ray, Stormy Winds. Looks like he did not discard any energies from that Stormy Wind, so he's going to grab the one he had already in there. Alright, Wishful Baton onto the active. Did not see what he's trying to play right now. Okay, so Jermaine's definitely going to have to sit up very well to get to keep up with this. Okay, so Marshadow, alright. That Marshadow card is broken for this meta right now. It is broken. Such a good card though. Especially on first turn. After you want to use it after you use your own supporter, that way you can fish for it out and give your opponent a bad start, hopefully. And it looks like Caesar passes over to Jermaine. Jermaine was able to get out of that bad Marshadow energy attachment onto a Cynthia. So if he can get some more bench Pokemon going, it's going to be great. And then he's going to be able to use Bursting Burn, which a burn confuse the active Rayquaza. So it's going to slow Caesar down. He's going to have to manually either retreat, Guzma, or switch cards. So he's going to have to use resources to be able to get that Rayquaza out of the active, to be able to hit. Or if not, he's going to have to roll for it. Okay, so let's see what Junior got. Okay, so another Persephon's going down. Along with Ultra Space and Grass the Peoples out. And if he can just get one more, that's going to be great. Okay, so Bursting Burn was used. So the active Rayquaza is Burn and Confused. Gonna roll for the Burn. The Burn is knocked off, but the Ray is still confused. So if that Burn would have went through, Jermaine only would have had to discard 3 energies instead of 4 on his next turn. But that's alright. I believe he runs Choice Band, so that's gonna be enough to get it if he can pull it off. So we have another manual attachment onto the bench. Rayquaza, and it looks like he's gonna Guzma out of it. Okay, so he's gonna Guzma out of that Burn, that Confusion, and it looks like he GX for Tempest. So discard his hand, and he's gonna draw 10 cards. So now it's ends his turn and goes over to Jermaine. So Caesar wanted to get more cards in his hand and discard what he had, so he can use Tapu Koko's ability to get some more energies onto his board state. Okay, so here comes Jermaine with the Marshadow. So that 10 card hand that he had is going away for 4 now. I wonder if Jermaine was hanging on to that to be ready for that. That was a good play by him. Alright, so let's see how this Marshadow helped or either hurt. Hopefully Jermaine is able to get some stuff going on so he can get this knockout here on this Ray and slow Jermaine down. I mean Caesar down. Okay, so there's the Nagadado. I'm not sure if he had energies in the discard pile or not. Okay, so Ultra Space can be played. Definitely no energies in the discard pile. So it looks like he just might have to. He can either GX for a card to get a price going, or either he's gonna Bursting Burn the active Rayquaza and force Caesar once again to either manually retreat, switch, Guzma. I don't believe Caesar is running the Zera Aura. Both players playing this very calmly and thinking about every single move. Alright, so there's the Bursting Burn, and it looks like the burn effect did not go away. So after Caesar's turn passes, that Ray is going to be in position for a 3 energy knockout instead of 4. Unless he switches it. Okay, so we got another mounting attachment, another Stormy Winds comes down. So that bench Rayquaza is ready to attack. And it looks like he might even send out... Yep, okay, so there's the Tapu Koko ability. To be able to get 2 energies from the discard pile and attach them to your bench Pokemon. It's a lot of energies going on right now on the board. Okay, so it looked like Guzma. Okay, so there's the Guzma that get out of the Burning Confused. And this will be a knockout. That is... Does this match all the energy that Caesar has in the board state? I believe it's 240. 30 for each electric and grass. No, it's 210, sorry. 210 damage, just enough, more than enough to knock out the Persephone. So Caesar will be taking the first 2 prizes, but now it puts Jermaine in that Beast Ring range. So if he's able to get at least 2 Beast Rings off this turn, he's going to be set up and going to be able to take off this Rayquaza. But the bad thing is that it has Wishful Taunt, so he's going to be able to move all those energies onto his bench Pokemon anyway. So he might move it onto the Tapu Lele, since both other Rays are already filled up. Alright, so let's see what he gets out of this. So we can get some beast rings going. This match can very much turn around. Alright, so manually attached for the turn. Active Persephone has 2 energies already. Looks like he is gonna play that beast ring. Oh, okay. Mysterious Ultra Space to get the Nagadado out. So now he's able to charge up. I believe he does have a few Fire Energies in the discard now. Alright, so it looks like he is going to use the Beast Ring and get 2 energies out and attach them to the bench Persephone. That Wishful Baton really hurts in this match, because all those energies are not going to go away. They're going to go onto a different Pokemon on the bench. So Caesar's going to be able to continue hitting for that 210. Okay, so Jermaine is going to use the attack, and he is going to swing. And this, oh, he did not charge up the Nagadado, so he took both of the Persephone's energies for 4 energies to be able to knock out that Rayquaza, getting him his 2 prizes. Okay, so Caesar is going to attach those 3 energies from that Rayquaza just died onto the Tapu Lele. Manually attached, so that's his board state is what, 240 damage right now. That Wishful Tom really hurts. Really hurts. So let's see what else Caesar does here. So this will be another knockout on Caesar's side. Yeah, so it looks like he went and fished out the other Rayquaza that he has. Stormy Winds to grab that energy onto the bench Rayquaza. And a Lily for 5. Okay. So I'm trying to think what he's trying to fish out, or either thin his deck out right now. His deck is already thin as it is, so we'll see. Right now he's gonna get this knockout, and if Jermaine can get this Rayquaza knockout without the Wishful Baton, it's gonna be great. Here's that Grimer. Oh, that Grimer would have been amazing in the first time if he was able to pull it out to shut down his Rayquaza's abilities to evolve to that Muck. Okay, so Jermaine's going to use Burst and Burn. Let's see if he gets Sunburn. Okay, so he is still burning confused. So now Caesar has to find a way to... Okay, so there's the Guzma for knockout for the win. Man, that's crazy that he did not Stormy Wind all his Guzmas out and he just had just enough to be able to keep switching out of that burning confused. Man, that was a fast-paced match and it was really good. First round went to Caesar. Okay, so we're on our last round, and it's Dennis against Bo. And yes, they both are playing stall decks with their own versions of their stall decks. So it looks like both of them started with unknown any active, so that's kind of funny. Looked like Dennis went first, I believe. A Team Skull Grunt was played to see if Dennis had any energies. Okay, so let's see. I think Dennis plays the version where he either stalls you out long enough where he can get the unknown hand going with Steven's Resolves, which is really good. He also runs the... Oh, what's he getting? Okay, so Steven's Resolves for 3 cards. and he can just loosen me and get him back and just keep that rotation going on and on. And I'm not sure what Bowles. I don't think Bowles playing the same version. I think he's playing a different one with Regekis. And I think that Lugia GX as well. We'll see here in a minute. And don't worry, this is not going to be a long match. It actually goes pretty fast, especially with the fast play as well. I think their total time in the match was actually 17 minutes, which is extremely fast for stall decks. Especially since both of them were playing for stall. So it's a lot of turn and pass, turn and pass. Stevens resolves. You know, Dennis is trying to get his hand as big as he can, as fast as he can, before Bo starts doing anything extreme. And after you play Stevens resolves, your turn ends. So that's a good card. Okay, so it looks like Bo's gonna play Stevens resolves as well. Okay, so they're both going at the same pace. And it's just another turn pass to see what Dennis is going to play, if he's got another Stevens resolve, or he's going to have to loosen me to get the Stevens back into his hand. And the crazy thing is, with the unknown ability, it doesn't need no energies. As long as you have 35 cards in your hand, and the unknown is in the active, you can use the ability. So all you got to do is find a switch card of Guzma to get it up there, and just say that you want to use the ability and you win the game. Okay, so a lot of turn and pass here. And Dennis does play another Stevens resolve. 3 more cards added to his hand. I believe that was his 3rd one, so hopefully he'll loosen me and start getting him back on. He's already got a lot of cards in his hand. A lot of cards. He's more than halfway there, I believe. Okay, so it goes on to the Bull's time. Let's see what Bull's going to do now. Bull does not have as big of his hand as Dennis does. So Dennis is a little close to pull off the unknown ability. And here comes that Lugia with the 1 energy attachment. And another Stevens resolve. Look at that. Another Stevens resolve. Okay, so the Lugia, I believe the GX sends the active Pokemon and all cards attached to it into the Lost Zone. So it's a great card, especially if he was playing against a Pika Ron player or any Persephone player, anything with a lot of energies, he can send it to the Lost Zone. A great card to have, especially for the 1 energy GX attack that it has. So I think Bo changed his route. He is not going to go for the unknown hand. I think he's going to pull something else out. And it passes over to Dennis after that Stevens resolve was played and he got his 3 cards. So let's see what Dennis is going to... I believe maybe a Lucy when they get some of those Stevens back into his hand. Okay, so next ball. It's probably not what Dennis wanted to play because that's 1 less card in his hand, but he needs to play an S-ball just in case Bo starts attacking with the Lugia. Okay, so he brings out... brings out a Hoopa, which is great. Hoopa's ability is that GX and EX can't attack it. Okay, so he is going to Guzma to put the Hoopa in the active and play a Wanderer's Labyrinth. So now it's going to cost Bo an extra energy to be able to play, or to attack, I mean. So it did slow Dennis down because he used some cards instead of keeping them in his hands, but he has to be able to stay in this game. Okay, so Bo's gonna play another Stevens resolve. Look at that, another Stevens resolve. How many Stevens resolve are these guys running? Every turn, Stevens resolve. I haven't seen a loose one yet. We're gonna have to check their decks later. That is so crazy. Both of them started with that unknown and the active. I believe that they only run 1. Okay, so let's see. Bo's taking his time over there to get those 3 cards that he wants. You know, I think that makes it harder when you have the ability to get whatever you want out of your deck, it makes it harder because you have to actually think which ones you're gonna get. Alright, so there's the first Lucamine. Okay, so these guys aren't playing 12 Stevens Resolves. Dennis uses Lucamine to get 2 Stevens Resolves back into his hand. And his turn is not over yet. Okay, so he decides to pass over to Bo. Let's see what Bo decides to play on his turn. Okay. Oh, a Giraffe Rig. Okay, this is going to be different. Okay, so the Giraffe Rig's ability is that he gets to send 2 cards from Dennis's discard into the lost zone. So it's definitely going to hurt Dennis. He uses the Tate and Liza to get it into the active and knocks out the Wanderer's Labyrinth with the Mount Coronet to be able to use the attack to send Get Lost, I believe the attack name is, to send 2 of his cards into the lost zone. So I believe it was a Lucamine and probably another Stevens Resolve. So now this is going to hurt Dennis. He needs to figure out how to slow down that Giraffe Rig with some energy denial, which is continue to draw because he is pretty close. His hand is pretty big, as you see right there counting his cards. Okay, so Bo can now, every turn, if Dennis is not able to do anything about that Giraffe Rig, Bo can every turn he can send 2 cards to the lost zone. So that's another Stevens Resolve that's going to go into the lost zone. But I think Dennis's plan is that he's already close to being able to use the unknown hand, so it's not going to hurt him as much. Okay, so after Stevens Resolve, turns ends, goes on to Bo. That huge hand that Dennis has. He's getting close. He's getting close. I think that's why he's playing his Stevens. He's at that point where he's close enough that he's going to be able to pull it off. Okay, so Bo plays his own Stevens Resolve. He's going to fish out 3 more cards. So he decided not to Giraffe Rig this turn. Or Get Lost, I mean. Because that will end his turn. And even if Dennis energy denies, Bo's running Mount Coronet, so he's able to get those energies back. Okay, so it goes over to Dennis' side. Alright, so let's see what Dennis is gonna do. I mean, that hand is huge. He's almost there. He's almost there. Let's see if he can get it off. He's got to be careful. He's Lucamine. He's going to lose his Lucamine, but he's going to have... Okay, so there is the Lucamine, Guzma, and Stevens Resolve. It looks like he put back in his hand. A lot of cards in his hand. And this is how the stall decks work. There's no attacking involved, so you're not worried about getting prizes. You just want to deck them out, get the unknown hand going, or either make it where energy denial and for both sides get lost and everything that's worth anything into the lost zone. Okay, so he did use Get Lost to send away his Lucamine, and I did not see the other card, but Dennis is going to play his Stevens Resolve that he got from last turn to be able to get 3 more energy cards. I mean, 3 more cards from his deck into his hand. And Bo's hand is actually looking pretty big as well now. Okay, so Bo plays a Durant down. Manually retreat to send Durant down. Now Durant has the attack. Let's see, Mountain Munch. Discard the top 2 cards of your opponent's deck. So he's gonna start milling away at Dennis's deck to slow him down from getting that 35 card hand that he needs to use the unknown. So I believe he decided that he did enough damage with Get Lost, and now he's sending Durant to discard the top 2. And since Durant's not a GX or EX, it can attack. Okay, so Stevens Resolve. On Dennis' side, get 3 more cards out. if Bo is able to keep on using Mountain Munch, he is going to deck out Dennis or either cause him where he's not going to be able to get the 35 card hand that he needs to the unknown. And Dennis is extremely close to pulling off that. And now he has to make sure he's got extra cards because in order for him to get the unknown, he's going to have to Goosemore switch. So he's going to... Okay, so what's going on here? Okay, so Tate and Liza to bring up the draft rook again and to get Lost Steven's Resolve and something else. I didn't have to see the other card. So it's a lot going in with Bo over here. He's switching out and doing either discarding the top two or getting lost, and it's hurting. It's hurting. Okay, so Dennis is going to play another Steven's Resolve. Get 3 more cards into his hand, and it's going to end his turn. So Bo can either do 2 things. He can get lost again or Mountain Munch. If Dennis doesn't have any more Lucamines, I don't think Bo's worried about the Steven's Resolve anymore, and I think that's what he's doing right now. So Humanity Retreat, get that Durant down. And it looks like he played the card where he can pick a random card from his hand and discard it. Dennis is counting. I wonder how close he is. Bo is putting the pressure on Dennis. Extreme pressure. 2 stall decks going against each other. Now, I played against Dennis earlier in the tournament, and I could not win. I was playing the turbo version of Pika ROM, and I was able to get at least 3 prizes, but after that, the Vileplume, I could not get it. I didn't have any evolution Pokemon. If I would have had a Jolteon, I think it would have been a different story, but I did not. So all I could do is just try to stall him out. There was a point where he had close to his 35 hand card, and what I did, I was just playing Marshall to slow him down, to bring him back down to 4. So he had to work on it again to get that 35 card hand. But he did it. He pulled it off. It's a really good deck, especially if you're going, if you go against players that don't have what it takes to get those knockouts or either slow you down. That stall deck is going to win. Okay, so it looks like Dennis conceded and was not able to pull it off, so he just decided to concede, and Bo takes the win for the last round that we had today. Oh, that was a crazy match. Extremely fast, actually, for being stall decks, which is kind of hilarious. I was thinking these guys were running 12 cards over here of the same one. Alright, guys, well, that's the video that we had for you today at the Nexus, our League Challenge that happened. We're super excited to have it, and we're just going to keep going so we can get some more cups going. Alright, guys, well, I appreciate it. Thank you.